We're going to get to Prince Harry. I'm going to have to listen to a little bit of Prince Harry. I thought we were done with Prince Harry.
No, well, he's trying to rebuild his relationships of sort, right? Isn't that what he's trying to do?
He was trying
trying to get back in with the royals or no?
No, you know what he's trying to do? He took the English government, to court to say that you have to pay for all my security, just like any other really important person over there, except that you quit your job, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't this really simple on the face of it? I think most people probably hear this way. No, you didn't like the deal, so you quit.
Yeah.
And you know what? It worked out pretty well because somebody threw $100 million at you and you spent six Netflix episodes talking about what shitbags your family are. You basically violated them completely, 100%, which he doesn't seem to understand at all.
Yeah, if you're a politician over there and you quit your job, you don't get security anymore, do you?
I think they do get security.
Oh, they
actually,
do?
For some for more than others. I think the prime minister gets it for life.
Mr. Prime Minister.
What's going to do? Well, it's a little different, a prime minister.
Yeah,
I mean, we do that here, right?
This guy, he keeps talking about, he acts as if everyone is so out to kill him. Honestly, if he would shut his mouth, I wouldn't want to kill him. I can't stand him or his fucking wife, Megan, but it's because of the shit they say. He doesn't decide anything important in this world.
No.
I mean, there's no, honestly, if he lived quietly, nobody would go near him.
He would cease to exist.
Yeah, and he keeps acting like, oh my God, what about history repeating itself? Oh, like you're going to get it in a taxi with a drunk taxi driver with your irresponsible, entitled boyfriend who hired the drunken taxi driver. That was not, nobody did that to your mom.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend did.
Mm-hmm.
The driver did. I mean, I know he likes to act as if she was murdered by the
paparazzi.
By the paparazzi, but the guy was not forced to drive drunk at 90 miles an hour.
Nope.
So anyway, he gives a 30-minute interview because he's so mad about the verdict, which he said was a stitch-up, by the way. In other words, it was fixed.
Really?
Yeah, he said that. He also said that my dad won't talk to me. Yeah, anybody can answer that for you. It's because you repeated all this shit, every piece of garbage you could possibly manufacture, and sold it for money.
Yep.
You screwed your family.
A book.
Exactly. I mean, your wife couldn't wait to tell us that Kate made her cry. Did you have to do all that? No, that was bullshit. Nobody in your family does that. They all seem to understand this is a fairly unique gig in the world.
You also painted your whole family as racist.
Yeah, he did a million shitty things. And now he said, I don't even know how long he has to live. He's basically telling us, oh my God, his dad's dying? Holy shit.
What?
But, to say that my dad won't talk to me, like, oh yeah, your dad, like it's just some little argument and he won't talk to you. No, it's kind of a big deal what you did.
Yeah.
You made a lot of money selling a story about all the fucked up things in your family. He acts like those are things just had to be told, but we know that's not the case. So why don't we just let's start off with this is him talking about how he can now see a day when he cannot take his wife or his children to see his homeland.
Oh, shut up.
Because he's not safe.
I can't see a world in which I would be bringing my wife and children back to the UK at this point. And the things that they're going to miss is, well, everything. I love my country. I always have done.
Yeah, you left it.
Despite what some people in that country have done.
So everything has been done to you.
So, I miss the UK. I miss parts of the UK, of course I do. And I think it's really quite sad that I won't be able to show, my children my homeland.
He's such a victim. He's now making himself a future victim. It's not enough to be a victim now. Yeah. I'm a future victim too. What about the $100 million you got paid that you made off telling tales about your family? Couldn't you use some of that money for security? I mean, isn't there a way to do this when he pays for it? Is he that fucking cheap?
Or all the money your mom left you.
Yeah, $20 million. No, he wants to be a victim. He wants to be.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's see what cut 2 is because I don't remember.
It'll be new to you.
To the UK by your family, then we will give you security. If you come for any other reason, then you will get a very low amount of security. I'm not going to confirm what that is, but it is completely insufficient.
Oh, what, by your standards?
He laughs about it like, oh my God, 2 security guards, like that's enough for me. No, there's more. This is more security. It's some security.
That's even worse then.
So he's really being a snob
not,
about it.
Yeah, it's not no security. It's just not what you want.
Right.
He implies in this interview, by the way, that he is
I'm
the
very
royal.
upset with Meghan and Harry right now.
He implies that he is the royal most at risk, and that therefore he needs the security more than anyone, even though he doesn't do the work.
Why would anybody take him out?
The idea that well, wait, you don't work anymore.
I mean,
so
why would
you
anybody-
get any benefits? He does not. That doesn't comprehend. It has no way of sinking into him. He doesn't. He's incapable of understanding that argument. So let's see. Is this one 17? We in the 17-minute mark in the third one, Brandon? Okay. Let's see. The only reason is this. Let's see.
Speaking of your family.
Yeah, this is again about his family, and just I don't even know how to describe it actually, but we'll hear it and you'll know.
Speaking of your family, your father is ill with cancer. Will you continue to visit him alone without the family? Where does this leave things moving forward? The ability of your children to see their grandfather?
Life is a precious thing.
He doesn't care about his
And
kids seeing
I'm acutely
grandfather.
aware of the fragility of that.
Not really.
I can only come to the UK safely if I'm invited. And there is a lot of control and ability in my father's hands. Ultimately, this whole thing could be resolved through him.
Yeah, if he'd pay for the great security that I need, I would go. But if he won't pay for it, I will not go, even though he's dying or could be dying. And the same thing with Meghan's dad,
Yeah,
too.
I was going to say, what about the other grandparents?
He doesn't give a fuck about either grandparents. He only cares about himself.
Serious question. Do you think he could just go get on a plane and fly over there and be recognized? I mean, he could.
He would take a private jet, Mark. He would get off at a private
No, I know,
place.
but I'm going even further. I think he could take commercial and fly over there and really not be seen if he didn't want to be seen.
Yeah, he could disguise himself. He could wear a hat and just
sunglasses,
a
right?
wig or something. Yeah, he could. I believe he could. But that would never happen.
Sure, some
because he
people
fly
would
private.
notice, but
So then, even though he's lost the case, he said, oh, it's a stitch-up, which means he got screwed. He's won cases over there against the tabloids. He knows
it's a lot
that
easier.
it's not that unfair. It's not a stitch-up. So he basically said the whole legal system is a joke because they just fucked me. So anyway, he talks about how he's not giving up, though. Now he's going to do something very privileged. Listen to this.
I would ask the Prime Minister to step in. I would ask Yvette Cooper, the Home Secretary, to look at this very, very carefully, and I would ask her to review RABEC and its members, because if it is an expert body, then what is the royal household's role there? If it isn't to influence and decide what they want for the members of their household.
But you're not a member anymore.
No, you don't do any work. You're not the same. Don't you get it?
No,
there's them and there's you.
You're a thorn in their side.
Yeah, you're a huge pain in the ass. You trashed them. You made $100 million trashing them, you asshole.
He just does not get that, does he?
No, and you'll notice, too, that he's always right. Everyone else is always wrong. He is always right. He never has any humility.
Well,
about
I don't
anything.
think he's always right. I'm sure Meghan's always right. I'm sure there's arguments they get into where
That's a good
she's
point.
the one that's right.
It's a very fair point. So now he gets into being a future victim and talks about history repeating itself, which is like, in other words, him being killed just like his mother, who wasn't killed. She was killed by her own drunk driver. But he wants to be a
And how
victim.
does that make you feel, given you have expressed numerous times that you do not want history to repeat itself?
I don't want history to repeat itself. I think there's a lot of other people out there, the majority, that also don't want history to repeat itself. Through the disclosure process, I've discovered that some people want history to repeat itself, which is pretty dark.
Oh, so people want to kill him? Really?
That's quite a statement.
That's 'cause you're an
What do you think
asshole.
that is?
I'm not going to share it at this point.
Because it doesn't exist.
Oh, just like the dark skin thing.
Process. And again, you have to question, why wasn't I put through the same risk management board that everybody else was?
Because you don't work.
Yeah, you're not a
including members of
member
my
anymore.
family.
But you're not a member
You
anymore.
reject it.
You quit.
Not
I'll tell
because
you.
you're no longer a working royal.
Why can't I do this interview?
You reject that it has nothing to do with the fact that you're no longer a working royal.
No, thank
Whether
you.
I have an official role or not is irrelevant
No, it's
No, it's
not.
not.
to the security.
That's where you're wrong.
The security needs that I would need.
That's your problem. And you went out and you made a shit ton of money. You're throwing basically your name out there because of who you are, made a ton of money. So it seems to me you could pay for this, you prick.
That is such a good point.
I don't even think he needs it. I'm like you, Mark. I don't think he needs that much security.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
No one's trying to kill him. I mean,
Kidnap
besides
him.
Meghan.
Kidnap him for ransom. Yeah, right.
I just didn't want to be alive anymore.
This next clip really annoyed some people because he's talking about his incredible service, his 35 years of service, and that should mean something.
Yeah,
and
he's
that
a lot of service when he's a child.
he fought in wars and et cetera, et cetera. I guess some veterans really did not like this. I don't think I got the whole clip here, but you'll hear some of it. And then also for him to act like his life is of service, which is kind of, I think he says that in this clip too, that, oh, all I want to do is be of service. Like, oh, really? What about all those jams and all that shit your wife is selling for, $28 for a little thing of honey and all that? That doesn't seem like service to me.
Or the book you sold.
Yeah, or the 6-part Netflix series.
Yeah.
What about it, Harry?
That if you come in and you serve your country, even if it's a minimum of 4 years, that you get the protection that you require because of your public service. I was born into this position. It wasn't a choice. I've served my country for 35 years.
Leaving was a choice.
I'm still continuing to serve my country.
Still serving his country.
Public service is my life.
By trashing them?
That is the dedication that will never change. And then all the other bits and pieces that are added to that. There are very, very real threats that exist out there. Some that are known about, some that have been withheld. And for people in power and responsibility of decisions to know that those threats and risks exist, but to turn around and say, well, because you don't have an official role, your life doesn't actually matter anymore. Well, you can imagine how I feel about that, but you can also imagine, not even imagine, that is the most illogical argument in the history of arguments.
Oh, really? The most illogical argument is that, you know what, since you're not working anymore, you don't get this benefit. That is the most illogical argument.
He does not understand that at all. I love that. It wasn't my choice to be in the family, but it was your choice to leave.
Exactly. And you've made a pretty good go of it.
Yeah.
You've sucked a lot of money out of people. And as far as your life of service, you prick, like Archwell, which you found out had 2 donors year before last. One person gave $5 million. One person gave $200,000 something. That is not service. That's taking a couple checks from people and then doling it out to other people. That's
Thank you for your service, bro.
And by the way, when they went to Colombia, remember they went to Africa and they went to Colombia?
Yes.
And it was a big pain in the ass for those countries. Like, what are you doing here?
For not a royal tour.
It was a photo op for him and for Meghan because they didn't do anything. I mean, why he acts like he still is this important public servant of England. I still work. I still am a public servant.
What has he done for England? He's made
nothing.
He's been all negative.
Yeah, he's been just a big shit story. He's done nothing.
He's trying to disrupt the royal family. Maybe that's what it is. He's trying to shake it up.
He is really a cheap motherfucker,
He's fixing
too.
it by tearing it down.
They should pay all my expenses, no matter what any other circumstances are. So anyway, this part, he talks about how just let down he is and how screwed over he is, like everything else.
At this point, I'm feeling very let down. It's the minority of people, especially those that read the tabloids and the press themselves. The press themselves have incited so much hatred towards myself, my wife, and even our children.
You even said a lot of hatred towards your family.
That's hard to forgive.
Pause for a second. He thinks it's all about him forgiving them. In other words, all that shit about, they was talking about this color skin of our baby. And what else? Oh, and Kate made Meghan gay! And all those horrible things that he pointed out, and all the things in his book, too, about his brother punching him.
Yeah.
So he's not owed an apology. He doesn't owe anyone an apology. They owe him an apology, and he's kind enough to forgive them. So what's the problem?
What about all those royal workers that she made cry?
Exactly. Which is just coming out.
Yeah.
There are decisions that have been made. There are things that have happened since 2016, especially throughout my whole life. But let's just stick since 2016.
Oh, wow.
There are
What a
things that have
victim you
happened
are.
that I can now forgive. I have moved past that.
What a big
I can
person you
forgive
are.
My family's involvement, my father, my brother, and my stepmother. I can forgive the press to a large extent as well for so many things.
How big of you?
What I'm struggling to forgive, and what I will probably always struggle to forgive, is that a decision that was made in 2020 that affects my every single day, and that is knowingly putting me and my family in harm's way.
They cut me off.
Everybody knew that they were putting us at risk in 2020, and they hoped that me knowing that risk would force us to come back.
Oh, so they're
But then when you
manipulating
realise that didn't work, do you not want to just keep us safe? Whether you're the government, whether you're the royal household, whether you're my dad, my family, despite all of our differences,
You're
do you
safe.
not want to just ensure our safety?
You are safe. You're
They
fine.
don't want to keep you safe. Yeah, his family doesn't want to keep him safe. They want him in harm's way.
Yeah, nobody
so
wants
they'll
your
come crawling
kids.
back.
Yeah, get out of here.
No, you know what they are? They're concerned about wasting taxpayer money on something that's a little dubious in some people's eyes, the
Yeah,
royal family.
yeah.
So, and you're insisting, well, I get my fucking fair share. If you get yours, I get mine. That's really what this is, isn't it?
I think so.
Angry that they're getting something he isn't
Well, I
getting,
mean,
and he thinks he deserves
Are there
it.
any more entitled people in the world than royal members?
No, but they try to not act entitled. He can't help it.
Did you read the note that he put out 2 days ago?
I don't think I did.
After he lost the court case. This is, of course, on their website, which is sussex.com. But he said, in recent years, my family and I have been subjected to well-documented neo-Nazi and extremist threats, including from Al-Qaeda.
Oh, really?
I don't-
Al Qaeda is worried about the royal family. I don't think so.
Two members who aren't even part of the royal family. I just don't believe that.
I don't either. No, I don't.
But
I don't
that's what
think
he's saying. And yet, since 2019, a proper risk assessment. But see, once again, Drew, this is one of those things where he says it, so it must be true.
No,
right? One person says something, and it's automatically true.
he's never wrong ever. No, I believe where he lives, he could go to the mall on a Saturday.
No
and
one
he
would
and
care.
Meghan, and nobody would care. They're bigger stars out there.
That's funny you say that because that's been a complaint amongst people that live in Montecito.
What's that?
Well, just how all of a sudden
how intrusive they are.
They are, yeah, and how now there's people that drive by their house and do this and that when because they're walking around with security and big entourage of people, where most people in Montecito just go about their business and go to the store and go to restaurants, but they make a big production out of it.
Well, it's amazing to me that he acts like, well, yeah, I'm forgiving them for all this stuff. Well, I mean, this is really incredible that I would do this, all this stuff, except the security. And then the reporter comes back with this question, as if it's all so simple.
Just because you spoke there about forgiveness, it sounds like the last step to repairing relations with your family is the security issue, by what you said there.
100%.
That's
Yeah,
it.
to you.
it.
And that's if they don't have any problem with all the shit you've been saying, including the fact that your dad's dying any day now and he doesn't talk to you. And that they screwed you on this case, which is not exactly what the British government wants the British people to hear from a royal, quote unquote.
I know they live in a different world than everybody else, but you would think if your father is dying and has cancer, that maybe your security isn't the most important thing.
Exactly. No, he's always number one. When that whole thing came out, when Meghan and Harry gave that ridiculous interview, and said, we were cut off. And Meghan talks about, how she didn't want to be in this earth and all that bullshit. And it was bullshit.
What?
That was when his grandfather was dying. His grandfather was like a month from dying. And a lot of people were like, oh my God, don't do this while you're, while this is going on with your grandfather. Your mother doesn't want to have to worry about this. And then she was
That is
dying.
such a good point.
And he did it again. So now the last cut is Harry saying that, basically that he's really happy that he got all that stuff out, that was important.
Oh, okay, great.
All the shitty stuff.
A lot more has come out because I felt as though it needed to come out. The other side of the story needed to be told. God forbid anything should happen.
Yeah, there's no HR department for Meghan. That was important.
But 2020, when that decision happened, I couldn't believe it. I actually couldn't believe it. I thought with all the disagreements and all of the chaos that's happening, the one thing that I could rely on is my family keeping me safe. And not only did they decide to remove my security in the UK, but they also signaled to every single government around the world not to protect us.
Oh, really? Your family went to every government around the world and said, hey, don't protect Harry. No, they didn't. That's such bullshit. And he and Meghan went to Canada, they went to the U.S., and they asked the governments to cover them, which, of course, is like, no, our taxpayers are not paying for your super security, asshole. Are you kidding? You don't represent the royal family anymore. Fuck you. I mean, Canada turned him down. But he would have you believe that his family made that happen.
Now, do you know about what's going on with that Better Up company that he was being paid $1.2 million with?
Oh, to be chief something officer,
chief bullshit artist. I don't know what it is.
That was what the job was pretty much. It was a job I'd never heard of. And the employees, they've been laying people off.
That's what I was going to say. Not only are they getting laid off, but there's I can't remember who did the interview, but they talked to a bunch of people that were used to work there, and a lot of them called it's psychologically a very unsafe place to work. It's having the exact opposite effect, and I blame him.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
He's getting $1.2 million a year. You know, if you gave that salary up because you don't need it, those people would still be working.
Are you telling me they're still paying him that?
That's what he reportedly was getting every year.
No, I remember he was
$1.2 million. I mean, if he's still working for him, yeah.
If they're still paying, I mean, I cannot believe.
I would think he would have been one of the first people they'd cut, but yeah.
People just throw money at these fucking people. It's crazy. And the Netflix series, by the way, they did not make their money back on the Netflix stuff. Spotify lost their ass, and I'm sure anybody else. Well, I guess Netflix is still in the game because of Meghan's business.
Yeah.
I wonder how that is doing.
That's a great question.
Because they act like it's doing great, and I never know if I can believe them. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if it was, but, I mean, do you really think people would want... I mean, are there people that like them that much they would buy their shit, which, by the way, is in small quantities for lots of money?
There might be enough people, right? Like, it's so fringe, and the markup's so great on it.
Yeah, that's true. No, they could succeed on it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't think it's... The other people they're competing with, like Gwyneth Paltrow, I do not believe they could do anything like that.
No,
I don't think.
Paltrow's like on her side now.
She's what?
On her side, like supports her.
Supports Markle?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was the opposite.
No, it's they get along now. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
I love that Prince William, after seeing this interview, is like, okay, when I'm king, this motherfucker loses his title. It's like basically what he said. They're talking about that's going to be the first thing William does is strip his brother of his title.
It's just so funny the way that his dad, who has cancer, everyone in the world knows he has cancer, and he has no problem saying, yeah, my dad won't even talk to me right now.
He's such a little brat.
And he might be dying.
What a little brat.
He is such he's the person in the family that you can never explain to someone. You can never fully explain what an asshole they are.
There's a lot of genetic pain and suffering that gets passed on.
Asshole.